Hey, welcome back to Life with Pauletta. And today, as you all can see, we are back in our nice little quarters. Okay. Okay. Right now, y'all can see I'm getting a little breakout. You ladies already know what time it is. Okay. So I don't have to go in there with you all. But I just wanted to let you all know that I am definitely doing this reading. We are like more than probably close to halfway through the book of the month, The Confident Mind. Oh my goodness, guys. Let me tell you something. I'm on chapter 4 right now. It is a little big boy here. She's thick, okay? She's thick. And it's talking about, actually in chapter 3, talking about the different invasion of your ideal future. Oh my gosh. But if once you all get into it, it starts out like if you're constructing a bank. That's how it keeps telling you. It's like, how to get your shmoney. It talk about shmoney, but in reality it's not shmoney, it's about you. How it is that you are going to get your mind right and you're going to build your bank account. But then once you read through it, it's like taking you through you, and it starts out with letting go of the things that you cannot change. That was chapter 1, and you're like going in, and then all of a sudden it's chapter 2, and they're talking about filtering your past for valuable deposits. It's like it takes you through, like if you're building up a bank account, but then it's talking about building you and restoring your confidence and protecting yourself from everything else surrounding you. So if you are focused on doing what God is leading you to do and told you to do, it gives you tools on how to block off and all the distraction. So oh my gosh, it's like mushing into where I think we all get into that point of like we feel stagnant. We feel like we're putting out more than what we are receiving. And sometimes, guys, when we planting that seed, we just want that instant harvest. And the real reality is it's not gonna happen, because instant gratification, no way. It's never going to happen. We always ask God for certain situations and certain things in our life, and we want it like instantly. When God is trying to protect us, he's like, okay, I give you what you asked for. However, though, you do your part, and I'm not going to show you the process in between because you may not want what you asked for. So I'm going to just give it to you a little bit at a time. So when we are on a growth pattern, if we're going through that shift of change in our lives, if we're working on developing proper habits and etiquette and principles, and we are implementing all the positive things in our lives so that we can let go of the things that no longer serve us, sometimes that going through that process in that valley sometimes can be a little bit like funky water. Okay. It don't smell right. It's a little funky. So you're going through your roller coaster of funky water, and you probably in that valley feeling like, I'm being under attack. It's so much going on, Lord. What? Well, I only ask you for I only asked you for a piece of cake. I didn't mean for you to just end up giving me all the extras on the side. But not knowing that what you asked for, in order to get it, you have to go through the pros and the cons. And I was listening a few days ago, and I came across Denzel Washington. And yes, I used to watch me some Denzel Washington back in the day. I sure do. I'm guilty. And he was having a conversation, and he talked about, when the devil is not after you, meaning if you're not being under attack by the devil, it's because you're doing everything he wants you to do. The moment you are shifting and changing, and you're getting to the point where you're like, okay, I can see what God is taking me to. I can see it. You got that laser focus. oh my gosh, you're going to be under attack. It's going to be like you're going to be bombarded with all the rocks that's out there, all of the negativity, all of the ups and downs, everything that can distract you. And they're just distraction. So the more distraction that you get, the closer you are to your harvest. So at the end of the day, wait for your fruit, because you are watering yourself. You are growing on a daily basis. You are connecting to God. God is guiding you through. And then all of a sudden you let it all go to follow a distraction. That is just a distraction. Stay focused. Stay the course. Your harvest is coming. Okay, your harvest is near. The more attacks that you receive, the closer you are to your goals, the closer you are to the promise that God had placed in, that you asked for, and He is definitely is coming true. It's just that, we can't be having no little thin skin. We have to have a hide of a rhinoceros, meaning thick skin. We have to have the mind of a child, where we're always like swallowing in, listening to God. We're reading our Bibles. We are reading things to help us develop. We all know that hot spot that we hear one thing and then all of a sudden you're like, that's trigger warnings. You already know your triggers. You already know if the person blink like this, what that means, and if they do it like this, what that means. Like, you already know your triggers, but just know that every time those triggers are coming up in your life more than too often, just know that you need to check you. You need to work on you. You need to know that this is something that I need to work on, because if that's still bothering me for the last 10 years or 15 years, then it's me that has to work on me. The moment you could pass that test, you move on to the next one and you start getting closer to your goal. It's going to become a point in your life, guys, that the things that will bother you, like that popcorn type of girl, where you just snap off, won't bother you anymore. I used to have, if somebody it was certain things, growing up, I used to suck my thumb. Guys, listen. I used to suck my thumb. I love my thumb. I didn't bother nobody. I drink my water, mind my business. I was an A student, and I was just in my own little world. But I used to suck my thumb, and I used to feel my what do you call that, umbilical cord? I don't know what the name of that, but we call it navel. So I would just be like this all day. And then as I got older, first grade, second grade, you're getting into that little bullying position now, where people is going to start like calling you out for certain stuff. You just have to let things go, and I will get upset when they call me Polly. Polly is a pretty bird. Oh. I hated that. That bothered me. And that's what they tease me. They call me a parrot, and Polly's a pretty bird, because I always was bubbly and very like out there. And I used to suck my thumb, and they thought it was funny, and at the beginning it was, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. So that was my trigger, where I would fight you in 2 seconds. You mess with me, okay? I ain't like that anymore. Call me Polly is a pretty bird, and all of a sudden, sticks and bricks may break my bones, but words no longer hurt me. Nothing that you said at this point in time in my life, I have developed that hide of a rhinoceros, that things just roll right off of me. And if I feel like you're just really coming there, I will just ask you. I get to the point where you just ask the person respectfully, is that what you're trying to say? Oh, okay. And the person can clarify themselves, because mind you, a lot of times we all have different triggers or different things that will cause a person to think they need to do a check, or they need to, pull somebody over and park them, However, though, sometimes other folks are so innocent. They don't even know what's going on, because the issue is not them, it's you. It's not the person, it's how you interpret it. You know, situations happen in our lives, and some has worse situations than other. And you see some folks going through certain things that you're like, oh my gosh, how did she make it through? And you're like, how did she overcome such a thing? And it's just because you get to that point where maturity has to kick in. And what you said to me is not going to bother my well-being, because I'm going to interpret it in a positive manner so that I can digest and keep moving. I'm not going to, it should not get to the point where it's bothering you, where, you know, you're all in your feelings. Yes, when we're in that immaturity part of our life, it becomes where anything or everything is always somebody's out to get you. Everybody's trying to survive themselves. Nobody is out to get you. And that's what I had to learn. Everybody's not out to get you. People just being themselves, and they're growing with their issues that they have. And I had to learn, like, oh, okay. So going back to the harvest part, I just wanted to explain the part where change is going to happen on your journey that's going to distract you. And it's not what happened to you. It's basically how you process it. Okay, now let's move back into get back on track, as they say. You know, so harvest, we want it now. So sometimes, you know, like for me growing up, and I'm gonna use my example as well, you know, I always wanted a husband, I wanted a kids, and you know, and growing up, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, nobody wanted to date me. So I got older, and I'm like, how everybody had a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and nobody would even, they would say I was cute, you know, they'll call me Polly's a pretty bird, but it was not like, you know, hey girl, you want to go, hey, you know, you want to get some ice cream? It was never like that. So I always thought that I was something was wrong with me, not to realize that God always protected. So when they came across the timing where we all got older, and I asked the question, like, guys, so, you know, growing up there, you know, I wouldn't mind y'all bringing me an apple, or, you know, bringing me a little flowers from off the tree outside. Nothing expensive. I mean, nobody brought nothing for me. And I asked the question, and they laughed, and they're like, Paulette, what happened is you were just different. They say, you were just different. You were not like all the other girls. Like the other girl, they just wanted to play. We know if we had come around you were a serious girl, and you know, and you weren't be looking to be playing around. You know, at this age, I respected that. Oh, so here I am feeling like I was lacking something, when in reality, they saw the bigger picture to know that they couldn't come and play around with me. And I respected that, because I was like, wow, that's what you saw. And here I am thinking I was ugly and, you know, all like unattractive. And that was not the point. You just felt like you weren't going to be able to play with me, like how you were messing with all the other girls. Okay, now at this age, oh, I'm glad. But I was always I was always been like sheltered, you know, from all the craziness. People already knew my family and stuff. So I just felt sheltered, like, and that's a good thing. I don't regret it, because I was protected. You know, the hands of God. My grandmother would pray. Now, she probably was not in the walk that currently that I'm working on walking in. However, though, you know, what they would call, you know, the falsehood, but she prayed. She believed in prayer. She prayed for us 24/7. Like, you would see my grandmother praying and putting her hands for protection. You know, that's the things that she did. And now today, looking back, I'm like, wow, I was always sheltered, you know, always protected. And I've never experienced certain things before time, you know, and I'm grateful for that. Now, moving back on to the harvest. Sometimes, and I'm going to use the boyfriends as an example. Growing up, like I was mentioning to you, I always felt like, well, maybe I'm just a little ugly duckling and nobody cared, and, you know, nobody liked me. So I just stayed in my space. I focused on my 4.0 GPA and studying and developing my career. And I just focused on that. So now today, when God blessed me with a husband, when God blessed me with a family, and I'm like, I'm so grateful that I waited. I prayed and waited. And like Pastor always talk about tarrying, and you just tarrying for what you asking for. You just praying. And I prayed and I waited, and now looking back, I'm like, I'm so glad I did not settle. I did not settle. And I knew what I wanted, and I knew who I needed in my life. I wanted longevity. I didn't want somebody that was going to come around just for 2 seconds. And I knew what I was looking for. And when God sent my husband today for me, that we are going on 25 years of marriage. And I'm telling you, happily married to the love of my life, my best friend. If I had rushed things and didn't do it God's way back then, I would not experience the beauty, the purity of what marriage is today. Okay? So for all my single sisters out there that's just feeling that you're left alone, just know your time is going to come. Don't rush your harvest. It's coming. No one wants to eat a green fruit. And if you're waiting, it's because God is telling you at this point in time that you have to grow too. So take this time to process the things that you need to develop and that you need to implement in your life to be a better person. So when you have that another person in your life, you're not in no competition. You're completing each other. My husband and I, we don't compete. We complete. The things that he's strong in, and I'm not as strong, then he takes care of that. And the things he allows me to lead is the things that he knows that I have a better angle, and okay, you handle that one. And that's how we do. We complete each other. We don't complete. So waiting for the fruit to be ripened appropriately on God's timing and not yours is the best, sweetest blessings that you can experience. Okay, it's such a pleasure when it's done in God's timing and not yours. So if your harvest, you're feeling that you want to pick that fruit right now like that, I would suggest that you stop, reflect, analyze yourself first. All the things that you used to do and you used to be back in your past, pick out the best portions to take with you for your future, and all the ones that not even you like, you can leave leave behind. And you'll see and ask God to implement the rest that you need in order to be a good mother, to be a good friend, to be a good wife, to be a good daughter. I mean, sometimes you have people with relationships that may not be perfect, that has issues, that needs to be worked on, but then yet you want that pomegranate tree, or you want the pineapple, or you want a grape, and you planted a corn. You can't get grape, pineapple, and pomegranate if you planted corn stalks. Okay? So at the end of the day, make sure that when you plant the right fruit, ask God to give you the wisdom and knowledge in order to take care of the things that need to be done, so your tree can grow and you can hand out your fruits to the people that's in need, because you had already overcame all the extra stuff from your past. Now you are fit and ready for what God has in store for you. So sometimes delay do not mean denial. Okay? Not just because you feel like, okay, I guess I'm in denial. I'm being denied now because I didn't get what I asked for. That is not the case. Sometimes delay is meaning that God has something better in store for you that's going to take a little bit more time. He's at the finish line waiting for you to develop the character in order to receive. Sometimes we want to be asked God for like a whole mountain of things, but then we only offer a handful. And he's pouring out. And he wants us to get it, but we can only receive what the hand can hold. So because we have not developed the things that we need to develop to be broader and have and worked on ourselves, so we are not clean. Remember, I always joke about this hamburger, right? We always have this hamburger inside of us. We're all full and stuffed with hamburger. God can't work in there. It's no space. So when you give your offering, make sure that you're giving him the best of you, so that way your fruit can get all the nurturing that it needs. And sometimes we just need a little extra growing to do. A little bit, just a tad little bit of growing we need to do in order to develop the character that is needed in order to receive the gift that God has for us, and sprinkle that pedigree of love that he has for each and every one of us, so that we can grow our fruits. And the harvest is coming, because he has never failed. He never slumber, but sometimes we get weary in well-doings. Sometimes we get weary. We're like, I've been praying for the last 10 years and I don't see nothing. Keep praying. Or, I've been on my knees and I spoke to the person that I wasn't speaking to. I did that. And God is like, keep doing it. There's another one in the corner that needs assistance. That your neighbor, you don't talk to your neighbor either. I mean, do you want to work on that one too? But Lord, I talked to the neighbor. I forgive this one. I forgive the next one. And you still haven't brought it to me. And he's like, there's another little angle that needs to be worked on. I can't give you what you can't handle. So if you are in delayed right now, you're not in denial, you're just in delayed, it's not because God don't want to give it to you. It's just that you can't handle it at this time in your life. So that's the message that I wanted to talk about today, because as life move on, we tend to, just keep dreaming. Keep your mind and your process growing. Read your books, guys. Read your scriptures, please. So I had a sister that said, Paulette, do you how you up so early? And I'm like, okay, I get up at 3:30, 4 in the morning every day. It's a habit. And I do my devotion. And after my devotion, I read my book. Sometime if I don't get to read my book right away after devotion, I do my readings right around lunchtime. So if I work on the day that I do work, I will go and pull over, and while I'm charging my car, I do have an electric cars. So once I get to that point, I just go ahead and pull out my book and I read, because that is what's going to help me grow. Okay, you're reading your scripture. You're reading your scripture. You're also reading positive things that add value to you. Okay. That's all I have for you guys today. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of motivation to let you know that wait for your fruit. Don't rush it. Keep growing yourself in order to receive the gift that God already have waiting for you, but you ain't ready for it. You not ready yet. That's why you don't have it. And the moment you figure out the reasoning of certain things that needs to tweak in your life, boom, everything is going to just come to fruition. Okay? It's just a certain law that God has that he's strict with that one. If you ain't ready for it, you ain't going to have it. And I think, and Pastor talked about the tokens. Remember the Some had 10, some had 5, some had 2, the other one have 1. And that one didn't want to develop himself to, and you all notice the parable, but I'm just bringing that up because I just want everybody to understand that it's the same part. It goes for across the board. You're going to develop regardless of which angle of life that God give you. Some of us had aces, meaning we hit it right off the bat. Some has kings, some has queens. And some of us was tossed a deuce. And that deuce, you may look at the king and say, but the king is in a higher position. Oh my gosh, I would never get there. We must learn to develop and grow and mature ourselves from any angle that we are in, from the bottom to the top. You don't have to be on top to lead, guys. You can lead from the bottom. You don't need to be on the side to lead. You can lead from the back. Like, at the end of the day, stop looking positions. Just do what you're supposed to do and use your talents for good. And when you do it for good, God blesses it and it expands. You don't have to be the head. You could be in the middle and lead from the middle. You could be all the way to the bottom with that deuce and you still can get your points across. You still can touch somebody's life. You still can grow from the bottom. You don't have to lead always from the top. You could learn to lead from every angle God puts in your way and master it. So that's why I've learned, because my background is in business management and they always teach us, this one is leading the project. Okay, that person is leading the project. Then you have all your people in your circle and your surroundings. And you're like, oh, okay, so let me figure out then, well, if that person is leading, then they're responsible or they're for this. Yes, they're responsible, but you're part of that group. So you contribute from wherever you're at to the main meal. Okay? Some of us are going to be the whole steak. Some is going to be a little side of rice. Some of us are going to be, the vegetables. Some is going to be on that platter and that plate. Each and every one of us is going to be a part of. We don't always have to be the steaks. You could be the napkin. No, I don't want to be nobody's napkin, but I'm just saying that still has benefit being a napkin, because after you already devour your food, you need to wipe your mouth. Okay? You need to wipe off. So it's definitely needed and it's part of the meal as well. All right? So today I give you guys leading from whichever angle and do it with a smile. Be grateful. Okay? Stop trying to compare and look at her and look at him and look at this and look at that stop. We are too old for foolishness. Okay? If your sister has 2 million followers, if your sister or brother has 4 followers, if your sister has whatever, or your brother has whatever, because only a matter of time when your turn is coming around. So I just want everybody to have a blessed day, enjoy life, and just know that life is a full circle. And today may not be for you. Today may be for somebody else. Today may be for me and not for you. I want you all to clap too. Like, hello. Because that's life. Nobody is trying to pull the person down. We want to uplift each other. We want to inspire each other. We want to make sure that when we grow, we be like the wave. We all pull each other with us. That's the type of scenarios in life that we want to implement. Where when one go, everybody goes. Help everybody else. The person that helped the next person the most, they're the ones that win. So if you see a brother and a sister, no worries, I got you. Okay, I got you. That's how you do it. Help the other ones. The person that helped the most. That was Zig Ziglar. He was one great motivational speaker, and you know, the book that I'm reading, actually no, it's in my other book from it's in my other book. That one was the sample from Zig Ziglar, where he's like, oh my gosh, you know, the person that helped the most, that's the winner. So I don't want you guys to feel that you're getting weary and well-doing. You're doing great. You're doing awesome. And the only reason you have not yet gotten what you wanted for what you prayed for is because you're not ready for it. But when you hit all the check marks that he's asking you for, you will start to flow. And it will be you'll be in an uncontrollable growth that you'll be like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do all of this, but you'll be able to handle it. Why? Because when you had none, when it was just crickets, now you got a whole lot of clicks. Oh my gosh, that's a good one. From crickets to clicks. Why? Because you tweaked yourself, you worked on yourself, you grew, and you made room for God to bless you. All right, so make room so God can bless you, and let go of all those little nasty little things of ways and behavior from our past. We're in holiness, guys. We're no longer going to be carrying all that taunting, nasty behaviors with us anymore. And if you feel the need to drag that with you, then you need to check yourself from the neck up, okay? Because in holiness, we ain't doing none of that. All that little snob and bitter things. No, we're not doing that. No. We ain't doing that. We want to keep everything modest and holy, and we're gonna love on everybody. Okay, we're gonna love on everybody. Paulette love everybody, and there's people that sometimes don't understand who I am. But when you do learn to understand, just know that this is genuine love right here. I get emotional, because the love is deep. And when I say I love you, I love you. Okay? It's no fakeness here. It's all real. And if I ever say or said anything to hurt anyone's feeling, I just want to say that I'm sorry. That's all. That's all I can do is say from the bottom of my heart, I apologize. And I'll work on me and work on not to do what I did again. See, we got to be honest with ourselves. That's the only how we can grow, to be honest. And sometimes when we close our eyes to ourselves and just look at everybody else, sometimes we sabotage our growth, because you're only looking what everybody else is doing and not looking at what you did. So I think today everybody needs to call up, that old friend, that old auntie, that uncle, that cousin, that brother, that whoever in your life that you may have wronged. If you have not yet fixed it, you need to let them know it's okay. You need to forgive them. And the forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. God bless you guys. Deuces.